This is the second part of the Century of Deformation Fire Rescue Corps Fire Warrior team from Wei Jiang. This is the not first aid figure of the set, and it's probably my least favorite figure of the set. Not because of vehicle mode or anything, but the transformation is kind of annoying, and the robot mode is a little bit fiddly. But anyway, the ambulance mode here is really nice because it rolls really well. It gets a ton of mass behind all the metal it has in it. Because, like, this section of the roof is metal. This side of the car is metal. Let's see, the sides here are metal. There's quite a bit of metal on the inside, too. It's just a super duper hefty figure. And it's really cool. In this one, at least. To transform this guy, what you're going to do is you're going to fold these out to the side, and these things will pop off if you're not careful. Just make sure stuff doesn't bump into them. And then you're going to come to the front, and you're going to split the front of the car like this. You're going to rotate the legs down, and you're going to rotate it around 180 at the waist, which can be a little bit troublesome because there's some plastic here that will bump into the backs of the legs. Then coming to the legs, you'll open up the hood, and you'll fold down the feet. Open up the hood, and fold down the feet. And I really don't like this because the hood pieces, they feel a little bit flimsy, and they don't really lock into anything, and you can't really use... Well, I guess you could fold them in like that under these little tabs here. But I really don't want to put much pressure on them because I really don't want them to break, and they feel like they might. You'll take these panels here and you'll fold them down to the side, and that's really all that happens to them. They're kind of just kibble. Now one thing, well, I'll finish the transformation before I talk about this. Next, you will split apart the front, and yeah, it's a weird movement that you need to make because this piece right here, there are tabs here and here that will go into here and here, and then this tab here sits under the roof. So you have to get it down and out to the side, and there's not quite enough room to do it comfortably. You'll fold these in just a little bit so you can get this to the back like that, then fold these back out. And then you'll rotate the arms all the way out to the side like this. And there's a Transformers movie figure that has a transformation, or this reminds me of him. I think his name is like Crankshaft or something, where the entire top of the van splits open and forms his chest. And this kind of reminds me of that guy. You'll get your fingers in here and you'll pull up the head. You'll pull the arms down like this, and then you'll pull on these kind of soft rubbery blades, get the hands out, and then fold these over the top like that. Do the same thing to the other side. Make sure everything is kind of pressed together back here. And this is not first aid's robot mode. And at first glance, it's actually a pretty cool robot mode because he has a nice barrel chest, quite a few paint tabs like in here and on his shoulders. And I really like the arm blades you have, even though they're kind of rubbery plastic. But holding this guy is kind of scary because he has these plates right here that don't really lock into anything. If you try and grab him, it'll just start pushing forward, just push forward on the arms, which kind of ruins the cohesion of the robot mode. And that's really annoying. And down on the legs here, because this guy has to turn into a car, sometimes this slider will come loose, which is kind of annoying. And the other problem is that there is a hinge right here that sometimes gets out of alignment, and that can make it a little bit odd to get him bouncing on his 2 feet so he looks level. So those two, and then there are also these things right here, and I already complained about these hood pieces right here. And so he ends up just being kind of a fiddly figure because of all this. And I would like him if not for these problems, because he really does look like a nice figure, even though I wish he had some more paint on the red sections. Now, I kind of get why he doesn't, because all the die-cast has to be painted too, so that's where most of the paint budget on this guy went. Now, for Poseability, the head can rotate around 360, and it can wibble wobble a little bit because it's on the ball joint. You do get some pectoral articulation, so you could kind of get him crossing his arms if you wanted. Like this. It doesn't look quite right, but you can do it. He has a ball joint at the shoulder, so it can go up and down. It can do this a little bit, but for the most part, you'll want this dedicated joint to do that. Then he has a ball joint at the elbow, so it gets a 90-degree elbow bend and an elbow twist. He has a waist swivel. Because of the issue I mentioned earlier where it kind of bumps into some plastic down here, it's not quite as comfortable to use as I would like. He has a very limited ball joint at the hip, so that's as far out as the legs will go. They will go forward and back a little bit. It does bend at the knee, and it's kind of a ratcheted joint, but because it's this soft, translucent plastic, it's not a super duper tight joint. I'm not really worried about the plastic breaking anymore, but part of that's because with how much force this took to bring down when I first got this guy, I ended up shaving down some of the tabs on the inside of this so that this telescoping joint wouldn't be quite so dangerous, I guess. But anyway, this has been a video review of the not first aid figure of the Century of Deformation Fire Rescue Corps Fire Warrior team. And he's easily the weakest of the bunch, but he's not terrible. He just takes a bit of finagling to really get any enjoyment out of. And I guess the other thing that kind of bothers me is that this thing doesn't really lock into place. If, like, this thing folded under these and then they tabbed over this, that would be nice. But there's not really room because these little tabs come right down where the hinge does. So, yeah, it's just not the most well-designed figure, even though it's not terrible. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video review. Join me tomorrow, and I'll be doing the next figure of the set. Thank you for watching.